Good morning, everybody. This is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, and we are here for Poolside discussion number 7. As I said yesterday, I am not quite at the pool, but I put the picture up. I can see it right here, but I'm inside because I wanted to record these with the picture, the chart that I have up here. As yesterday, we talked about the 10 life values, and I said that people were asking me how I bounced back, after my ordeal with the government. And I told them this is a major part of how I bounced back. Dr. Spencer Holman created the 10 life values system several decades ago, and I was introduced to it and started using it, and things started to go very well. Things started to move very fast towards me being able to excel and continue to excel and basically live the life of my dreams. So as a recap, the first 5 that we went over yesterday, spiritual, health, family, appearance, and dwelling, are the internal values. And the last 5, mobility, education, profession, leisure, and wealth, are the last 5, the external 5. The internal ones, if you don't have the internal ones, if you are not together with the first 5, the last 5 are not going to work out. It's going to be a disaster. You're going to be living in a lost value system, which is another chart altogether, but we'll talk about that another day. So let's go over the external 5 values of the 10 life values. Mobility. Now, mobility is not just about the car I drive or the car you drive. It's about different things. Number 1, engaging in civic activities. Mobility, your mobility concerning your community, engaging in what's going on in the community so that you can know what's coming. There are a lot of people in different homeowners associations that are tasked with meeting with public officials on a regular basis so they can know what's coming down the pipe. If something's getting ready to get built in the neighborhood, they know it and they can alert the neighbors so that if something is unfavorable coming to their building, into their area, they can at least have a say-so about it. For example, near my church, there are a lot of well-built large homes, and a company wanted to come in and put a gigantic apartment complex there. So somebody was on top of it civically, and they went in and they said no. And it ended up that company had to build houses instead of apartments. So that's part of mobility. Another part is understanding your environment, your legal environment, when it comes to what you need to do and how you operate in society. For example, learning how you get grants. If you have a nonprofit organization and you need grants for it, your mobility is going to be the thing about your mobility will be that you use that mobility to go and find out how to get grants for your nonprofit. Another aspect of mobility is how you move internationally, nationally and internationally, but specifically for me, how I move internationally. I'm down here in Costa Rica for 18 days. This is not a vacation. I have not put a toe in a pool or an ocean yet. I may do that, but my priorities are to get these companies together, get this land going so that I can have a clear path for you guys to come down. And all the things that I'm going through, you won't have to go through because I'm writing them down, and you will be able to avoid all of these hoops that I'm having to go through. So how you move internationally and nationally is part of your mobility. Next, we're talking about education. The root word for education is educare, which is to draw out what is placed within us by divine order. And I do believe that we have a lot that was placed within us by divine order. So drawing that out is education. Education is about discipline, knowledge, and learning for yourself and for your family and for your extended community. For example, I thought the doctorate degree would increase my credibility in the marketplace and in society. People tend to listen to you when you have letters behind your name. And since some of my letters were gone after my ordeal with the government, I got some more letters. I am saying to people, instead of spending hours like on YouTube for entertainment purposes, you can earn the knowledge equivalent of a college degree on YouTube. That's education. That's how you use your education value. That value is important. And everybody doesn't need a college degree. College is very much overrated right now. But your education the best education, as far as I'm concerned, is coming from people who have done what you want to do. And if they're lending their services, it's better than sitting in a classroom in front of a professor that's just talking about it in theory and has not done it in practice. Next, we'll talk about profession. Profession is your personal contribution to this world. What are you going to contribute to the world? Who are you? And what is your purpose to contribute to the world? It defines me by what I have accomplished and can pass on to generations. That's very important to me. Passing on the knowledge that I have to not only my family, my children, my granddaughter, but passing it on to other people so that they can take advantage of it. I'm not one of those people that operate like the crabs in a barrel, keep all the information to myself. Obviously, y'all know that. But I want people of all walks of life to be able to thrive. That's one of my passions. So my profession helps me to pass on the knowledge that I have for generations. And it also helps build legacy. There are a lot of people that talk about building legacy. And what that means is, what are you leaving behind for your family? What are you leaving behind for society? What is it that you want to be known for when you're gone? So your legacy is important. Your profession usually will help you build your legacy. So whether you're a truck driver, whether you're a dentist, whatever you are, make sure that you take that knowledge and share it with others so that somebody's legacy will be built upon. The next one is leisure, how we choose to spend our time. My leisure time helps me to discover what I love in life. I take the time and just breathe instead of running all day. The rat race keeps you away from your true leisure, taking time off and just sitting there and thinking. A lot of people don't like to think. They like to have music on constantly, television on constantly doing something because they don't want to think about their life. Well, we got to get out of that. If you feel like your life is in shambles, the best thing to do is take time to sit down and assess where you are so that you can move to a better place. Many people on the opposite side spend too much of their time in leisure. Too much time playing video games, too much time on the phone games, too much time doing whatever the latest television series is, or those kinds of things. And we do need time to relax, but it's supposed to replenish, revive, and refocus you, not to just entertain. So watch your leisure time. If you're not taking time out for yourself, you need to do that. Do not be a workaholic. And on the other hand, do not be somebody that just does the minimal as far as your other parts of your life, your profession and education are, because you spend too much time in leisure. Last, but definitely not least, is wealth. And everybody in the lost value system has wealth first. Wealth is last, and it's the anchor. Spirituality is first, but wealth is the anchor. This is the accumulation of assets for your legacy. Rich people make sure that their wealth stays there. There are very few wealthy families that when the current generation dies off, 2 or 3 generations later, they're broke because they put things in place. For example, there's something called the family office, and that's a private company to manage investments and wealth for a family. In the family office, it makes sure that the children and the grandchildren are taught about wealth, taught about what the family has, taught about running the family businesses. We need to be paying attention to this. If you have a business, teach your children. If your children don't want to know, teach your nephews and nieces. Somebody in the family needs to keep it going, because that's how people get ahead. That's how wealthy people get ahead. Instead of spending all the money on new cars and large houses, take some money and set up a family office. There's something that I was thinking about maybe helping people with. They usually charge over $50,000, but I want to learn a little bit about it so I can help a little bit when someone has a business and some assets and they don't have the means to pay $50,000 to a company, because some of these companies that do family offices, they require your net worth to be at least $5 million. I've seen those online. And that keeps the people that are up and coming away. But there are ways to find out what they do and how they do it. And that's one of my goals to research since I've gotten the degree and the degree program is done. Wealth is energy, and it continues to grow when invested in others. Wealth is energy, and it continues to grow when it's invested in others. That's equivalent to the universal law of sowing and reaping. As you put out to others, then you get back. I invest in people and I get back, not necessarily money, but I get back all kinds of great favor from people and favor from the Most High. So that's where I'm going to leave off. I'm going to continue to invest in you guys. I want you to take seriously the 10 life values. I might do some serious teaching, deep teaching on these 10 life values, since they've helped me so much in my life. But for right now, I am about to go and get some breakfast and maybe take a stroll down to Manzanillo Beach. You all have a great day.